to see that dream, just you have to look at the preamble. You will be realizing what type of Indian society our forefathers were dreaming for. Means if we are supposed to know something about the dreams of the Indian forefathers, the makers of the constitution, just you look at the preamble, you will be getting India should be what? Sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic with justice, liberty, equality and fraternity. And whatever right now happening in India, whether the Indian forefathers were dreaming for that. So this statement is very important statement from this judgment. This can be directly asked in exam. In this definition, one line more you write in definition. Our preamble has been taken from USA and it incorporates the philosophy of our freedom fighters. The philosophy of our freedom fighters. The philosophy of our freedom fighters. So in this way you can define other things can be brought from importance of the preamble. If question asks what is preamble, something you can also bring matter, content from importance of the preamble. You got this point or not? When questions come, what is preamble, then some content from importance of the preamble subtopic can be also brought. So that about definition of the preamble. Next dimension is nature of the preamble. Nature of the second dimension is nature of the preamble. Nature of the preamble. What is nature of the preamble? Whether preamble is judiciable in a court of law. Whether preamble is judiciable in a court of law. If a person has no access of justice, whether he can go to Supreme Court and ask from Supreme Court if preamble talks about justice. Yes? You enforce this? No. And therefore, because preamble is what? Not enforceable, that is non-judiciable in a court of law. Please note down this one, the preamble is non-judiciable, that is not enforceable in a court of law. You got this point? Yes? It is non-judiciable. Preamble is non-judiciable in a court of law. It can't be enforced in a court of law. You know, fundamental right is what? Enforceable in a court of law. If a person's fundamental right is violated, he can go to Supreme Court under Article 32 and High Court under 226 to get enforced these fundamental rights. And therefore, fundamental right is judiciable, enforceable in a court of law. Unlike fundamental right, this preamble and DPSP, Directive Principle of State Policies, are non-judiciable, not enforceable in a court of law. Now clear? Point is clear or not? Yes? Then question arises, why preamble is non-judiciable? Yes? Why this is so? Answer is that the preamble does not give any substantive right. Please note down, because preamble does not give any substantive right. Preamble does not give any substantive right, nor it puts any limitation, on the legislature and executive. Nor it puts any limitation on the legislature and the executive. and the executive. We know what is substantive law because all of us are advocates, law graduates. We know that what is substantive law and what is procedural law. No. And therefore, if there is a conflict between substantive law and procedural law, which will prevail? Yes? What is objective of procedural law? To achieve objective substantive law. And therefore, one question can be asked from you: if there is a conflict between preamble, which is not substantive law, only philosophy, ideals, and any clear provision of the Constitution, including fundamental right or any other clear provision, DPSP, other parts there, which will prevail? If there is a conflict between preamble and any clear provision, article, clause of the Constitution, which will prevail? Yes? Article will prevail. Answer is article will prevail. Why? Because article is substantive law. It gives substantive rights, concrete rights. This is not only ideology, like preamble. If our forefathers had made certain provision, article, clause of the Constitution, there might have been certain objective to give substantive right to the people. But preamble is mere what? Ideology. And therefore, if there is a conflict, the clear provision of the Constitution has to prevail. That about the nature of the preamble. Next dimension, whether preamble is part of the Constitution, along with whether preamble can be amended. Two subtopics I am taking together. Third dimension, whether preamble is part of the Constitution. Part of the Constitution, along with whether preamble can be amended. Preamble can be amended. Subtopic is clear. Whether preamble is part of the Constitution, whether preamble can be amended. Yes? What is a reality? Whether preamble is part of the Constitution? Part of the Constitution. On this point, there are two judgments of Supreme Court. One judgment is what? Re Berubari. If you are interested, you can write ki Re Berubari versus Union of India. Re Berubari versus Union of India. I think as a law student, all of us know this case. Re Berubari versus Union of India. So clear? AIR 1960. AIR 1960. Supreme Court held what? Preamble is not part of Constitution. Preamble is not part of the Constitution. And it can't be amended. But that was a narrow interpretation. And therefore, in Keswaran Bharati versus state of Kerala, Supreme Court reversed its own judgment and held that please care, held that preamble is part of the Constitution. But not essential part of the Constitution. It is accessory in nature. It is like jewelry. It is like crown to the Constitution. It means Constitution will remain as functional as without the preamble. It means preamble will remain as functional as without the preamble. Then another dimension in this is whether preamble can be amended. Please listen the reasoning, what Supreme Court reasons about that. Whether preamble can be amended or not amended. Supreme Court held in this case that society is dynamic and Constitution is for the welfare of the society, and therefore to maintain dynamism in the society, Constitution has to be amended. And since preamble is the summary essence of the Constitution, and therefore it has to be also amended so that the cohesiveness between the preamble, society is dynamic and Constitution is for the welfare of the society, and preamble is summary for the Constitution. To maintain dynamism in the society, the Constitution has to be amended. And since preamble is summary of the Constitution, it has to also amended so that the cohesiveness between the preamble and the main body of the Constitution can be maintained. And since only part of the Constitution can be amended, for this purpose, preamble has to be part of the Constitution. Here I have given reasoning why preamble has to be part of the Constitution, because only part of the Constitution can be amended. And why there is a need to amend the preamble? Because to maintain a cohesiveness between the preamble and the main body of the Constitution. If right now in preamble the term secular is there, if you repeal Article 25 to 8, the discrepancy will arise between the preamble and the main body of the Constitution. This dimension, whether preamble is part of the Constitution and whether it can be amended or not, is finished. Next, I am taking importance of the preamble. Next dimension is importance of the preamble. If question comes, what is the importance of the preamble, and also to tell you, the most important question in preamble is what? Importance of the preamble. Importance of the preamble. Most important question is to be there. What are the importance? First point I should tell you that you take definition. Whatever they have taken in definition, that should be written. Whatever written in the definition, you plot from there. And beside the definition, what other things can be taken? Our preamble mention what? We and ourselves. Our preamble mention words we and ourselves. Therefore, in Kehar Singh case, Kehar Singh versus Union of India 1989, Kehar Singh case, '89 versus Union of India 1989, Supreme Court held that our constitution emanates from the people.